today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Funko horror series Scream, the ReAction Ghostface. This super stylized version of Ghostface comes to us in a 3 3/4 inch fully posable action figure. Of course, comes to us from the folks over at Funko, who are churning out a whole ton of these ReAction figures, and am, myself included, absolutely loving them. An image of Ghostface in the side corner. Not really sure what movie that's from, but kind of a shame that they're doing the Scream TV series and they're not keeping the mask of Ghostface, but I digress. Spin around the back of the package. The horror series consists of Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Eric Draven, Sam, Pinhead, and Ghostface. I think the only one out of all of these that I haven't had a look at yet is Pinhead here. To check out more from the folks over at Funko, you can go to www.funko.com. You can also go to www.reactionfigures.com as well, as this is a Funko and Super 7 collaboration. It says, a note to parents, which I actually didn't notice before. A note to parents, Halloween 4, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, The Crow, Scream, Hellraiser 3, and Trick or Treat are rated R. Consult www.filmratings.com for further information. I didn't even see that before. You see that? I always know something new when you look at packaging. At any rate, Spot is going to take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the horror series ReAction Scream Ghostface. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Do be careful not to open up Ghostface so fast that the loose knife that's inside the packaging goes flying somewhere onto the carpet. It is extremely small, little small hunting knife. It's all cast in silver, but guaranteed this will get lost extremely easy. You can take the said knife and put it into said hand of Ghostface, like that, and he can hold his knife. Funny enough, he doesn't come with his voice box. That would have been also a really nice treat to get. It is also to note that there's something wrong with the face, other than the fact that it's the Scream face. I got a little bit of paint. I don't know if it's intentional, but I've got a little bit of paint that looks like it's smudged right around the eye socket area. It's a bit of a shame, but I mean, you can also chalk that up to if this was a retro figure of Ghostface. Could kind of make sense that he's got a little bit of that going on. So I can kind of write that off, but just something I wanted to note in this video. For his body is basically just a robed figure. Theoretically, what they could have also done, in the vein of like the old Star Wars figures, is that they could have given him like that plastic, outfit. Kind of would have been ridiculous, but it would have been in the same vein as what we would have gotten with other figures, certainly back in the day. Like if you remember Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, they all had this kind of, I think it was either plastic or it was cloth. I think it was a plastic material. They could have kind of pulled it off on Ghostface, although if people didn't get the reference, they would initially probably think, oh, that's really cheap. That's kind of the way the figures were back in the day. Instead, they've swapped out a material fabric for essentially just a sculpted robe. A sculpted robe does a pretty good job right around, of course, the sleeve area, and swapped out now for legs. The robe also serves as a point to move the legs. And it's when you start moving the legs that it does look a little disjointed from the rest of the body. It doesn't quite look like a robe anymore. It kind of looks more like just really big pants. But if you have the figure straight, which is likely the way I'm going to be displaying the figure, you don't really notice it all that much. In the way of his articulation, Ghostface has a swivel in the head, swiveled arms, and there goes the knife. Doesn't really sit all that tight in his hand. And of course, as mentioned, he's already got the swiveled legs. Legs go swivel forward, unfortunately, but they don't swivel back. That's as far back as they go, which is okay. It's not something that I'm going to lose a lot of sleep over. Of all the Funko property, at least Funko ReAction property figures, the horror ones are probably the ones I gravitate a little bit more towards the most. I love horror characters as a whole, and when you get them in super stylized versions like this, is really when I start loving the pieces. Ghostface, I think, turned out pretty solid. Face is good. It's one of those figures that does translate good to a ReAction figure. And so far, I don't think there's really one that I haven't liked from the ReAction, at least from the horror figure line, the ReAction figures. So a good solid figure overall. Today's toy spot, we were having a look at the Funko ReAction figures. We were having a look at the horror series Scream Ghostface. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.